Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Aman and Noah Fisher to talk about Chelsea versus Aston Villa from the weekend in the English Premier League. Yeah, it's been a big week for Villa. We went away to Poland, to Warsaw. We got defeated in that one. Disappointing, but we came back, the bread and butter, the Premier League. We got the 3 points, and we are into the top six. So we'll be talking about all of that and much more after this. Okay, so after a disappointment in midweek to Legia, which we will be touching on after the Chelsea match, we came to Stamford Bridge. We were the away team, and but I was quietly confident going into this one, Aman. I'll start with you. It was the same lineup that beat Crystal Palace. He went with the same soldiers, and they put in a really good shift. We got the rewards for what I thought was a great team performance.
I think the lads were rewarded for their performance against Palace. Obviously, we saw a change in midweek, but I think that's just because of the rest between games and give some other guys some game time as well. So I think we were probably always going to see this lineup for this game. And Chelsea haven't been doing too well this season. I think everyone's saying like, oh, they're playing well. They're going to click soon, or they're probably going to get into gear soon. I've been one of those people as well. But they don't look too good. So I was confident going into the game. Predicted a 2-1 win for us. We'll take the 1-0 win, and was confident going into the game.
Well, I predicted 1-0. I got it spot on. So I was pleased as punch about that. But Noah, this was a difficult trip for us. We had disappointing results against Newcastle and Liverpool away from home earlier in the season. So, this was a real sort of like marker as to where we are. It was a fairly even game in many respects. Chelsea had a few chances, but I thought we showed a little bit more experience and a little bit more togetherness than them with all their new signings and a lot of young players and that sort of thing. And, it was a perfect Unai Emery away performance, I thought.
Oh, 100%. I think I'm the only one out of us four that didn't get maximum points on our tipping. I thought, like Aman said, that Chelsea would get their act together.
Yeah.
And they would score a goal, and I thought we would score on as well. So I predicted a draw on. And fortunately, I got that wrong and Villa got the 3 points. And it's the first time we've won back-to-back games at Stamford Bridge since 1933.
Wow,
so that's a remarkable stat. So that was
no official stat.
That's an Aston Villa. So they posted on the social media this morning or last night, whatever, if you want to say. Depends where you were when you watched the game. But typical Unai Emery fashion, that was a clinical display. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, Aman, the first half was fairly tight. Not a great deal of chances for either side, but two outstanding saves by Roger Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. One from Luca Digne and the other one from Nicolo Zaniolo.
Yeah, I feel like the first half was a weird one. It seemed like we didn't really get out of like second gear, and Chelsea were creating chances, but we looked comfortable. I think there was a few times with I think it was in the first half, the Pau Torres back pass, and then just a couple of other instances where they managed to get in behind that high line. But we just looked like we could like just deal with their attacks, and then but in saying that, we also weren't creating like proper clear-cut chances till we had that Digne shot, and then I think the Zaniolo shot as well. I actually missed the Digne one, so I don't know how good it was, but everyone keeps telling me it was a great save. I saw the Zaniolo one. That was a good save as well. I think there were instances where Zaniolo got in behind and crossed it into the box, and we just didn't have numbers in the right places a few times. I think I can remember 2 dangerous balls put in, but it was a weird first half. It wasn't really like a boring first half. It was just like a first half where, neither team was dominant, but yet we had the 2 best chances. And, Chelsea probably unlucky not to go 1-0 down, going into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, Noah, this is a bit of a trend under Emery is, we start the game kind of slowly in terms of our pace of play. We, knock the ball around, wait for them to come out a bit, and we sort of we play a bit of a waiting game in that first half very often, especially against teams, that are pretty good, like Chelsea are. So that was happening in the first half, but as we grew into the game and got some comfortable possession, I thought Kamara, his best game of the season by miles. He was absolutely outstanding, especially in that first hour or so. And we really started to get control in that midfield.
And that's the part we've been dominating, I guess, the back end of last season as well, with how well Kamara and Louise were playing. I thought John McGinn was sensational. I'm not sure how many votes he got in the Villa Fans Australia, but I thought he was sensational. Louise did his job as well, went under the radar.
He was brilliant,
But my man, Ollie Watkins, I said it last podcast, he's going to fire, and he finally did. I'm so happy for him. And John McGinn was the person, I think, that got him over to celebrate in front of the away fans, because I think Ollie likes to celebrate in front of the home, the opposition fans a little bit. So he came over and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And I think the Villa fans were so happy to see him score. I know on the videos you're seeing on social media how much it meant to everyone, I guess, to get a win like this. And it's a real unity around Villa at the moment, and everyone's bought in. And I'm so excited for the rest of the season. This is a massive win on the road.
Well, of course, we had Christian Perslow in the away end, Aman, which was a bit of a surprise considering he left the club earlier in the year. But good to see that we've made such an impact on him that he still considers himself part of the process, or part, a fan. And, it was great to see him in there mixing with the away fans. It was, and we gave him something to cheer about.
Oh, yeah. It was a weird one to see when Noah posted the video in the group chat. I'm like, clicked on the link. I'm like, who am I looking out for? The first name that came into my head was like, oh, is Grealish at the game watching the game? Because obviously City had played the night before. And then I'm like, who am I looking out for? And then I watched the video and not realize he was in there. And I rewatched it again. I'm like, oh shit, it's him. And then I've seen a video of him chanting in the crowd and stuff like that. It's good on him for getting amongst it and still being part of the group. And yeah, I guess like you said, just shows how much of an impression we made on him as a club. And yeah, I mean, good luck charm, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Into the next away game.
Absolutely. And going back to what you were saying about Ollie, Noah, he just needed that goal. And I think it was a bit of a hit and hope. It was a tight angle, went through the keeper's legs. After those two saves in the first half, I was thinking, oof, we're going to have to come up with something pretty special to beat him here. He's having an absolute blinder, but a bit of a goalkeeping error, you might say, but I mean, still a very clean strike and just what he needed to get that sort of monkey off his back this season. And, hopefully go into this good run of games we've got coming up, he can bang a few in.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a decent finish, to be honest with you, Scott, because in that position, a goalkeeper is going to have to react in some way, and Watkins hit it with some force. And the keeper's always very vulnerable between their legs, especially when it's been hit with that much power. And I thought, look, if he aims anywhere else, he doesn't score. He's not scoring that in any other. He had to go through the keeper. And yeah, just the amount of force that was on it, I thought it was a good finish. And I'm just buzzing for him. I really am. And I just hope that in the league, especially, this can be a good run of form for him coming up, especially with the games that we do have. I think we got Wolves, Luton in there somewhere along the line to Fulham, maybe. I'm not too sure what our
Brighton's the next one.
I know Brighton's the next one. Yeah,
that's going to be. It's going to be a tough game, but it'll be a good game, and we've got a good record against them. We seem to be their bogey team. We
haven't lost to them since we've been promoted in the top flight. I think that's the only team we haven't lost to. But on the Christian Perslow thing, I know some Villa fans aren't actually happy that he was in the away end because technically he took someone's ticket in the away end, and there's a massive process of X amount of away games last season to qualify for a ticket.
Right.
And fans are saying, oh, I didn't qualify for a ticket because I went to this amount of games. He didn't go to an away game last year.
Right.
And got a ticket. So I know some fans aren't happy with it. I thought it was interesting to see him in there. I really thought it was interesting, and I love the passion he was showing, but I do kind of see the sides the other fans are coming from. That he was
if you missed out on a ticket, that would be bit of a bugbear. But I mean, look, it's one tick. I'm sure he's not going to go to many other games.
No, exactly that. Exactly
yeah.
that.
But yeah, like looking forward, Aman. Like, oh, sorry, I wanted to go back one more time to Ollie because there has been a lot of talk about his new contract, and he wants 160 grand a week. Apparently, is the number. So, do you think he's worth that? And do you think that is something you'd like to see?
Yeah, I saw the thing on Twitter, and I think I posted it in our group chat. When I initially saw it, I was just like, yeah, no chance, worth 160K. That's like, even though it's not my money, that feels like that's like elite tier striker wages. Could be wrong though. That could be just the normal going rate these days. Who knows? But then again, when I'm looking back at it, like I was having to think about it during the game, I'm like, it's Twitter. How do we know that this is true or not? Just could be someone just made something up and posted it online and it's gained traction or whatever it is, just because of how. We saw Conser sign a new contract, and I think Ollie's kind of like the last one of that, group of players amongst like McGinn, your Tyrone Mings, your Esri Consers, your Douglas Luizes, who have already, committed their futures, and his deal's not. It's not as if he's like going to be a free agent next season, right? He's still got another season to go on his deal, so.
And Emery did say in the press conference that the contract negotiations are in embryonic stages. So, it's very early and we'll have to sort of see where it all comes out. But, it seems like a lot. But to have a number 9 who is as confident and settled as Ollie is a big thing. I mean, if you look at Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson can't score to save his life at the moment. Yeah, he's probably going to be a good player. He's a young player, just come over from Spain. But, to have that just clinical sometimes when he's confident, striker just helps so much. And, I'd be open to it. I mean, if Luca Digne's on 160 grand a week, then Ollie, why not?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't know what the going rate is for a striker. End of the day, like, yes, scoring goals is important for a striker, but he adds so much more to our team, especially off the ball as well. Like, we're letting him go. I saw comments on Twitter saying, cashing on him is 28, et cetera, et cetera. Still runs like he's a 21, 22-year-old, full of energy, really fit, really strong. I don't know where we would find another striker that would fit the system to a T like he does. Yes, we hope that he would score more of his chances and stuff like that. He is a bit. I think everyone realizes he's a bit of a confidence player. Kind of reminds me of like a Song Heung-min from Spurs, not in terms of the way they play, but just in terms of their scoring patterns, right? Like Son will go missing for like a few games, and then next thing you know, he has like 7 goals in 5 games or something like that, just because he found the back of the net. And I think Watkins is the same. We saw the run at the end of last season. So till there's a better option, he's the main man. You got to back him. And like you said, I think it's still early days for contracts. No one's really in a rush, right? Ollie could come up with 20 goals by the end of the season. We're only 5 games in. And then he could ask for a $220,000 contract. Or he could end the season with just 10 goals. And then we could say, the max you're going to get is 120, whatever it is like that. So just leave it to the club to do. And whether or not they re-sign him or not, you got to trust the process. There, the owners haven't let us down so far. Emery hasn't let us down so far as well. So that's all you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to trust, the staff there. They're doing a good job so far. But Noah, we kept a clean sheet in this game, which I think is really important. Away game, first away clean sheet of the season in the Premier League. So that's huge. Chelsea did have a few chances though, and the high line has been criticised, on social media a lot. I saw a bit of it going around after this game, even though we won. Chelsea did have 2 or 3 chances where they broke that high line and they were 1-on-1 with Martinez, but he put off some great saves to keep it at 1-0 or at 0-0. So how are you feeling about the high line? And, do you think, it's something that you have confidence in over a long 38-game season?
First of all, I think it's the first away clean sheet since a certain fixture last year, which was Chelsea away. So it's our first away clean sheet since that game, which is quite funny. So we'll keep playing Chelsea away. The second point, I think that when you have a keeper in net like Emi Martinez, I don't mind seeing players go one-on-one because I think the commentators, the ones we have an Optus Sport, actually said that you back him to save it more often than not a one-on-one. And that's true. I actually feel so confident with him between the sticks. Unless it's like Erling Haaland running in on goal, then I do kind of get scared for that happening. But with Martinez, I back him in so often with saving one-on-one, especially when someone like Chilwell is running on goal, left-footed player. He's only going to try to do one thing. He's not going to try to put it across you. He's going to try to target in his stick. I think that kind of makes his job easier for him. And then someone like, I guess, like Jackson, I don't think he's scored a goal this season, has he? I don't think he's scored a goal for Chelsea yet. He's low in confidence. Sterling's only scored goals against Luton, and he shut Sterling out so many times. I know he was offside for the majority of those chances, but he still had to save and play to the whistle, and he's just a fantastic keeper.
Yeah, and I think I've spoken about this before that, like, by playing that high line, we force them into do something that they might not want to do. They see all that space in behind, and they see the likes of Mudryk and Sterling, and they think, well, we've got to put it in there, and that in a way like forces them out of their normal game. I mean, if we, sat on the edge of our box and, put 11 men behind the ball and, really tried to soak up the pressure and gave them the ball, then they could score goals in other ways. But I think we are forcing them into this situation where we are quite comfortable to say, all right, it's going to probably break down 2 or 3 times a game, right? But we're going to get probably 5 or 6 offsides, and you're going to have to change your game for us, and we like that. So I don't know what you guys think about that, Aman.
I think like it's just the style of our play now, and we have to. We are going to concede chances. We're going to concede chances in any system we play or in any game we play, unless we're Man City, and even then, Man City concede chances as well, right? So I think it's just about understanding like this is the way we're going to set up. Play with the high line against teams, and I'm pretty sure the commentator said it as well yesterday. Against teams that sit back against us or try and press us, we've got the players that can play the ball around, move the ball left and right. I mean, Pau Torres, like, he's immense at, keeping the ball. And even just now, I feel like he's getting more and more confident. He's starting to walk out with the ball as well. So he'll actually beat that first press himself. And, that opens up more spaces for our players in front. And I think this high line, like, it worked against Chelsea because they like to go from out wide. I think where we'll struggle is when we play against teams that have that extra runner in midfield, so they're able to have someone actually breaking the line properly. Whereas when you're playing against teams that play through width, more often than not, they're going to get caught offside because it's just one person running through, and it's easy for the defenders to step up when they need to. It's more, I think we saw it against United last season with like Fernandes, Rashford, when one person makes the run and then the ball's not played, but then the next person goes, then you're not able to catch that second runner offside. But I like it. I think it's a good way to play. We're playing some attractive football as well. We saw that against Palace. Second half yesterday, even before the red card, we were playing some good stuff as well. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think there just needs to be times in the game maybe when it's not working, where we might need to change. Do we drop off 10 yards? But yeah, it's working so far. Like we're in top 6. I saw something on Twitter, or I think it was on the Birmingham Mail podcast they do at the end after the game, that said our points per game at the moment means we're on track for 76 points or whatever it is. Is that enough for top 5, top 4 even, they say? So we're doing well. Like, you can't complain. We lost against Liverpool away. We lost against Newcastle first game of the season away. We've had injuries to Mings, Buendia and Diego Carlos. Like, it's going good. Happy times.
It is happy times. And I think the just the fact that Emery has this style and he's unwavering with it, Noah. He's got his little things. He likes to play possession football at the back when we've got it. He likes to play the high line. These little things, like once you see the results churning out and the players just buy into it more and more, and it's almost like Ange Postecoglou had told them, like the players seem to be buying into his style and they're getting away with it. They're getting rewarded because they're being brave. They're getting results. And I feel as if the same thing's happening with Villa because everyone's fully in on this Emery style, this Emery system. We're getting the rewards because everyone's trusting the process.
I mean, that's where it starts, doesn't it? I mean, Scott, you play football, you play it, and I've played it. And if you don't buy what the coach wants, then it's never going to work out in any level of the game.
Yeah.
And I know, like, as Aman said, that it might break down and it might, he might concede a couple of goals from it. But you're telling me the last time it probably broke down, I guess Liverpool, it wasn't very successful away. The last time I can think of besides that was Manchester United away that Aman touched on. Most of the time, it's very, very successful for keeping players, I guess, making them go offside. It's very successful, and Emery's a mastermind. I'm not sure you guys saw his social media post when he was on the bus going back to Birmingham, laptop, TV, watching was watching the highlights, or might have been watching the Newcastle Sheffield game, not too sure. But
he had a fair bit going on. Like he's just a workaholic, isn't he? It's love. I just love it, and I love his post match interview as well, Aman. It was just. He always talks about the fans first, and like it doesn't matter if we win, lose. If the fans are a bit angry, if they're right behind the team, it does really just seem like he's completely bought into the club, the culture, and I'm just so excited of like what we might look like in a year's time if things keep progressing the way things are.
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure like if that's something that he's always done from his Arsenal days and Villarreal days, but I have a feeling potentially, once he got the role, once he was looking at the role, his team around him would have said to him, look, this is what happened with Steven Gerrard. He alienated the fans with some of his silly comments post-game, talking about, I think it was Chelsea where he said, we're going to Chelsea, we should lose or something like that.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard goes like, they should be wiping the floor with us or something. Exactly. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like his team around him have like told him like, the best way to get the fans on side is A, obviously play good football, which I think he was going to do regardless, but B, also, speak to them in the post-match games or whatever it is like that. And I think he's from just seeing press conferences and post-conferences, he's very open with, discussions and not gatekeeping information or whatever it is like that. So I think, that's why the fans are really, really, really taking to him very well.
All right, let's quickly touch on midweek then. No, we went away to Warsaw, Poland, played Legia Warsaw, who are currently third in the Polish league. And, they're a famous club. They've been to, European finals and things before. They have got a great atmosphere there, a great little stadium, made a lot of noise. They had the big tifo of the gorilla and welcome to the jungle before the game and all that. And we were behind 2 minutes in with a silly goal in that game. And this was a very different Emery in this game. He was very angry. I'm sure you've seen the clip of him on the bench doing this, like looking like he was choking someone out. Like he was very angry with some of the defending, but he did make the 6 changes. We had Callum Chambers at right back. We had Clement Longley come in at centre half, and they both really struggled in what was a disappointing defensive display.
I mean, I think I said it on the Hibs episode where we qualify for the group stage and we found out our groups that these aren't going to be easy places to go.
No.
And especially when you go behind 3 minutes into the game. I know we got an equaliser a couple minutes after, but we just didn't start the game the way we wanted to, and it kind of didn't go above that. Let's be honest with you. I know we equalised a couple of times, but we never really took the game by the scruff of the neck. Let's be honest with you. Like,
no, not at all.
In our first European game back in, official like group stage game in 13 years, whatever it is, you really want to assert that dominance, especially on a team that on paper we should be beating, and everyone expects us to walk this competition. We're favourites to win it now. Apparently, we were. You got to make a good start, and for players like Callum Chambers and Longley and the other changes that came in, what impression to make to your manager? I want to play football. I want to play football. Well, you gotta earn that spot, and these are the games you got to do it in. I know Yuri Tillemans has been frustrated he's not starting games, and these are the games these guys got to, I guess, put a mark in Emery's mind, saying, "Hey, I'm good enough to play Premier League."
Yeah, Aman, I think this game was quite interesting because I actually believe that they surprised us in they pressed the ball very high up. And, I think maybe, some of the players or maybe Emery himself felt like we'd have most of the ball. They'd sit back and defend in the low block. And that's not what happened at all. And we couldn't play out of that press with the changes we had at the back. Chambers especially coughed up the ball many, many times. And there was just, it really felt like our passing possession style really broke down in that game.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I just saw the score. Obviously, not a great time here in Melbourne to be
Was it
waking
2
up.
o'clock or something? 2:45.
Yeah, 1:45 a.m. on a work night. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I saw comments being like, we should play our strongest team. He could play the strongest team, but then what does that mean for the Chelsea game? We've got a massive run of games, like I think it's 7 games in 21 days or something like that, or 23 days or whatever it is, like a game every three days, basically. We've got Everton coming up in the Cup, right? In a couple of days as well.
Wednesday night. Yep.
Yeah, Wednesday night. There you go. So I think, maybe some of these fringe guys just didn't properly estimate like the type of game they were going to get. Maybe they were a bit rusty as well. Obviously, Chambers hasn't featured much. Longley, his first game starting, 90 minutes away from home. Probably didn't have the best season last season as well. So low on confidence maybe. And then, just from reading the comments, it seems like Tillemans didn't have the best of games, but, I think that was all of those players as well. Positives you can take out of it, I guess, Duran continuing to score is a good positive.
What a goal,
too. A lot of people still calling for him to start now, but I think Watkins is the main man in the Premier League.
Yep.
And maybe next European game we might see still a rotated squad, but maybe a stronger rotated squad, if that makes sense.
Well, yes, our next game in the Europa Conference League is at home to the Zabrinski, or the team from Bosnia anyway. But they had a good win against AZ 4-3. So that's really sort of opened this group up and was a pretty good result for us if we could, win that game, Noah. But I think Aman touched on it. The changes, a lot of people were criticizing the changes, but I think with the Chelsea victory and the performance at Chelsea, absolutely validated the changes. And these guys that don't play very often are going to be needed and are going to play games. So we need them to step up. And I think this was a disappointing game, obviously, but I think the experience will help the squad immensely.
100%. And I've said it all along, is how good's our squad depth. And not too long ago, Callum Chambers was a key starting figure in our team. Let's not forget that. I remember his goal against Legia, that run of games where he was extremely successful. So we know he can be a good player, and he obviously must be frustrated he's not getting to go. And these players are going to play a massive part. I think a lot of them might get another go against Everton in the Cooper Cup on Wednesday night. I think that's going to be another chance for those guys, and they've got to take it. They've got to take these opportunities. They've really got to do it. And I know we have our key players. No, not like the Martin O'Neill kind of have his selected, 14 or something players he really liked, but we've got our key core players that are going to be in our team every week, and we know that for a fact. But there are a few spots that are up for grabs, and like Leon Bailey, for example, when he sees Buendia goes down, he might think, "Geez, I got my spot." We get Zaniolo when he's got to fight even harder. He's got to keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's what we want. We want these people to be hungry to want to play first team football, and the Conference League is still a bloody good standard. Like, we want to win this thing, and I think Emery will be like we all seen the gif. I know you said that before, Scott. He was fuming. He's Mr. European football. He wants to win this competition, and he will not be happy with that. And I will expect to see probably a similar lineup, but a different mentality in the next game.
Yeah, I think the fact that we were traveling all the way to Poland and we had the Chelsea game away straight after. I mean, I've looked a bit into the future, and some of our games after the next European games are against like Luton, for example. And this, I don't think he's going to make as many changes for a week like that. But we'll have to wait and see because we have to win these games now because we've started badly. But let's not think about that. Let's concentrate on the Chelsea win. It was a great win, and we'll look forward and do our predictions to Everton on Wednesday night in the EFL Cup.
And Brighton
as well. So, what do you think, Noah, for those two matches?
In the Cooper Cup, Villa are going to retain the Cooper Cup. Sorry to your brother, but we're going to win 3-0 at home. I know Everton are coming off a win. Confidence is a big thing in football. Coming to Villa Park's never an easy job. We've already seen that this season for them, and they lost 4-0. So we'll take a 7-0 aggregate lead in the Cooper Cup in that one.
I also think they're probably not going to prioritise this match very highly.
They're not. I don't want to say that because
they've got a bit of a relegation battle going on.
They do.
Aman, what do you think about Everton in the EFL Cup Wednesday?
I'll go 3-1 win. I think maybe they'll just score a random goal. I think I read something about them saying they're going to play Dominic Calvert-Lewin and that guy from Udinese, their new signing. Is it Coutinho or
Beto?
Beto, yeah.
Beto,
I think, yeah.
Top, so 2 twin towers to knock some balls in. So, yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see what lineup we play. But I think even if we play a rotated squad, we'll get the job done 3-1. That's my prediction.
I'll say 2-1 for that one. I think, we'll probably play a weakened side. We might come under a bit of pressure from the tall timber, but we'll get the job done. I could see maybe Duran, maybe getting another goal or two. So
I hope so.
All right. And what about Brighton, Noah?
We're going to win 2-1. Same result as last year at Villa Park. I do love the way Brighton are going about their football. I know they're a team that's just flying under the radar. They're actually third at the moment in the Premier League.
They are.
Team that doesn't get spoken about much, especially over here in the media. There's not a lot of media talk on them at all, and they're just slowly going about their business. I love the way their manager speaks about their team and everything like that. And I think it's going to be a tough game. And I think we're going to just edge it just because of the home advantage. It's only a 2-1.
Yeah, we got the likes of Matoma and Joel Pedro. These guys are in form for them. How do you think we'll go next Sunday against Brighton?
I'm confident at home. Go 1-0 win. I think they've got some good players in form. Evan Ferguson, Matoma scored 2 goals against Bournemouth as well. And then they got Billy Gilmore's playing good football too. So they got a good squad. I think we have some good players in form as well. Douglas Luiz, as you mentioned before, and Ezri Konsa signed a new contract and then played immense.
He was great. He was great. We haven't mentioned him. He was absolutely colossal.
Yeah, and like commentators said it a few times, but surely England cap.
I think Dean Smith actually said it somewhere that he can't believe he hasn't played international football, and I think he's actually eligible for Portugal as well. So if I was Portugal, I'd be getting on the phone because England can't be far away for Ezri Konsa, and if I was Portugal, I'd be giving him the question. I think England missed out on Matty Cash. I really do. I think that's a big miss for England.
Yeah, I think it's 3. I don't know how. I've seen the Portugal one, but there's also I think you can also play for Nigeria as well.
Is it Nigeria? I thought it was Nigeria, Where's Balassi from? Is it the
I don't think Balassi's from Nigeria.
No. It's from the country that Balassi's from. Is it the Republic of Congo or something?
Congo. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it might be Congo. We'll have to check that one. But I'd like to see him in the England squad. I think he's better than Harry Maguire, for example, and guys like that seem to continue to get a game that, is a bit of a head scratcher. It's not one of the positions the England side are very strong in depth. Guys like Lewis Dunk and these guys are playing, and he's a pretty good player, but it's not. I think Cons is as good. So I'd love to see it, but I think we just got to focus on Villa at the moment, and I'm sure he'll get a chance if he keeps playing the way he's playing. So, what did you say for Brighton, Aman? Did you get that one?
Yeah, you go 1-0.
1-0. Okay,
up to you now.
I will say 2-0. I'm going to say 2-0, and I'm going to say Ollie Watkins with another goal, and maybe Nicolo Zaniolo with his first goal. Why not? I was really impressed with him. Some of his techers and his little nutmegs and his runs are top quality. He might be the most skillful player since the one whose name we don't talk about.
You mentioned him.
But he might be one of the most skillful players we've had since, for a while. since the G-Man, since Grealish. Oh, there it is. I said it.
I thought you meant Gabriel Ogbonlahor.
Oh no, get Rudy Gestede. That's who I meant. Okay. No, but yeah. So that's the show for this week, guys. Thanks for all your support. Please like and subscribe. Follow us over on Spotify. Give us the 5-star reviews, and we will be back this week. I'm sorry we didn't do a podcast after the Legia game because we were all a bit busy, but we will be back after Everton, and we will be talking about that EFL clash, and hopefully we'll be going on another cup run. So see you next week, and up the Villa.